So that was one story that I want to share with you. And then the other story is about my first managerial post. So later I went to Britain to study and get an MBA. And my first job was non-managerial, but my second job, when I was 26 years old, I was given to manage a team of 7 people. So we were in a very small space, office area. I was in the middle and everybody was around. It was an open plan office. And I just took out my MBA books and tried to remember, how do you set targets? How do you motivate people? How do you communicate? You know, all from these books that I had read, because I had never done it before. And I had no idea, not a clue. So, you know, the MBA courses normally show you that you have to be very clear with your targets, and then you motivate people to achieve targets. So I thought, okay, that's what I'll do. So one of the ladies, Jane, she was older than me actually, and she was a mother of 2 children, 2 very young children. So she would often come in the morning late, and some days she would call in and say that her little boy was ill and that she couldn't come to the office. In those days, teleworking was not all that popular, so that was out of the question. So I was getting really anxious because her work was falling behind. Other people had to cover up for her work, or I had to cover up for her work. And I just was getting very frustrated, and I obviously showed my frustration. Next, we had John, who was much younger than me, just finished university, and he had no idea how to work, or he didn't also have a work ethic in the sense of what I had read in the MBA textbooks. So I was furious with him too, and I showed my fury. And then I had another 5 people around me. Some didn't know what to do, so they were waiting for me to tell them what the next thing was. Others were going ahead, forward, and overproducing, or without asking me, making serious mistakes, because they would go to a different department and ask for something that wasn't supposed to be asked or whatever. So it was a real mess. And I say that it is due to my lack of management, mainly, because I'm not going to blame myself completely, but mainly because of my ill management. These 7 people either asked to be transferred to a different department, or actually left the company completely and went on to different jobs. So I lost my first team of 7. So what do you think was missing? What was going on? What was the source in these stories that I told you? You might think that compassion is being oversensitive, yes? No, compassion is a very misunderstood word. It is often confused with empathy. Empathy is part of compassion, but compassion is even more dynamic. And I'm sure that it will be something that, if you haven't related to, you will try to develop in yourselves. This is a huge leadership trait. It's a key trait nowadays. So there are 3 steps, but they're very interrelated, so it's difficult to segregate them. The first is the ability to step into another's shoes. So imagine how they feel, what they need, what's happening in their thoughts, yes? What their life has been. The second is the ability to momentarily, and I would want to emphasize the word momentarily, feel the pain of the other, because we don't want to be in the pain. So I would say that empathy has to do with the second step of compassion. And the third important step is taking action yes, but action appropriately. So it's not always the case that we need to do something. Sometimes we need to take a step back and allow this person who is suffering to empower themselves to find the solution on their own. So compassion is not about being mushy mushy and huggy huggy and oh you poor thing. Yeah, so we don't stop at the empathy level. We need to get back out again, connect our brain with our heart. So use this heart-brain coherence and act appropriately. So here's what an awarded compassion advocate said. He was recently awarded for as one of the most compassionate CEOs in the world. He says, managing compassionately is not just a better way to build a team. It's a better way to build a company. So who do you think said this? Any guesses? It's difficult to guess because I've researched and you haven't on this particular subject, so it's unfair to ask. So this was actually what Jeff Weiner recently said at CBC News in America, and he is the executive chairman of LinkedIn. And he has created a compassionate project in which many other companies, especially the high-tech companies, are participating, the well-known high-tech companies. So he explains how he used to be. Non-compassionate behavior from him was, though I wasn't the yeller, I was pretty intense. If I saw something in a presentation that didn't make sense, I would barrage the team with questions. I'd listen with the intent to reply and not to seek to understand. I expected other people to do things the way I did and grew frustrated when they didn't. Does this remind you of someone? My second story. Over time, I realized how unproductive this approach was. Rather than inspire and lift people up, it was a good way to shut people down. And this is what he decided to do, to change, become compassionate. So I vowed that as long as I'd be responsible for managing other people, I would aspire to manage compassionately. That meant pausing and being a spectator to my own thoughts, especially when getting emotional. It meant walking a mile in the other person's shoes and understanding their hopes, their fears, their strengths, and their weaknesses. And it meant doing everything within my power to set them up to be successful. So this is from the business world. The business world is now realizing the importance of being a compassionate leader